Hi and welcome to Tech Tip Friday. I'm Kurt Stahle, that plastics guy, and while you know what I do, I bring you a tip that helps you to learn a little bit more about the plastics industry. And today I want to talk about something that's based on a case study, but I think you could argue it's really more of a business case study than it is a plastics case study, but I think it's important to share nonetheless. I've been working with one of my suppliers, and I have great relationships with my suppliers. Fantastic companies, fantastic people. I'm really quite fortunate to work with some top-tier companies. And I have great customers. And my job is to pull together customer applications with the best suppliers and marry them together and get a win. It doesn't always work that way, though, unfortunately. I wish it were. I wish that's the way it worked, but if it was that easy, well, anyone could do it. So one customer in particular, I've trialed material at twice with a very reputable supplier in this particular resin space. Very reputable. They have a solid reputation and quite a diverse product range. So they know what they're doing, and they've got extensive R&D. We brought in two different formulations of one product, and the second trial got us closer to where we needed to be. It was almost a touchdown, but there were some issues that prevented it from being, well, a close. So we agreed to go back and have another look. And this particular supplier, they just could not replicate the kind of failure we were seeing during the trial on their own lab equipment. And without that sort of conclusive proof that a formula tweak could move the needle and get us that closed business, well, where do we go? Well, I think in this case, we have to park this and just stop until we learn something in the future, or something maybe changes with the tooling on my customer's end. Something else has to happen. Otherwise, we're just sending in incremental improvements at great cost to all parties with no guarantee that will actually bring the business to a close. So that's rather unfortunate, because up until this point we've met all of their metrics except for this one particular area. What can you do? The main thing I want to drive home here, sometimes the best decision is to stop. And boy, oh boy, I've had business experiences where I wish I would have listened to that much sooner than I ultimately did. So we have to make these decisions when we're in a supply situation, a potential supply situation, or even actively supplying. Sometimes we just have to stop because the economics of the situation don't make sense. And that's okay. We make decisions based on economics, or perhaps not the right product fit, or other elements of the deal. You know, if someone wants a consignment inventory, another party absolutely refuses to do that. I think we've been in this business long enough that we kind of know the variables that are make or break things in a deal. But not being able to come up with a product formulation that meets 100% of the required criteria, and we don't know where to turn, that's when you stop. And that's okay. And that's something I'd like to really impart upon you, the viewer, the listener, as the case may be. If you're stuck on a deal, maybe the best thing to do is simply stop pursuing it. If not for good, at least in the short term, and just maybe something several months down the road might click. But you gotta move on to something else in the interim. Keep making money. Keep looking at other projects, other customers, other suppliers to bring to the table, and you got to keep running your business. So sometimes stopping is indeed the right thing to do. And that's your tech/business tip for today. I'm Kurt Stahle, that plastics guy. Have a great Friday, a great weekend, and we will see you next week when we're back in August. Where's the summer going? Take care. Have a great day and a great weekend. Thanks. Bye for now.